Welcome to Maths Gym. In this episode, we are going to look at question number 8, exercise 8.2 from Longman Maths, generally used by NCFE and many other NCRT students of Class 8. The question is, on selling 250 apples, a man loses the selling price of 10 apples. Find the loss percent. That is the first part of the question. Second part says, had he purchased them for rupees 650, what would have been the selling price of one apple? So there are two parts to this question. First one, you have to find out what is the loss percent. One thing is sure, you are aware that in this entire transaction there is a loss. Second part of the question says, had he purchased them for rupees 650, what would have been the selling price? Now if we look at how do we begin, we always begin with some reference point in the question. The reference out here is a man loses selling price of 10 apples, right? On selling 250 apples, he loses selling price of 10 apples. We will start off our assumptions from SP. Let the selling price of one apple be rupees X. Therefore, selling price of 250 apples will be rupees 250X. Loss is equal to selling price of 10 apples, and that is given in the question. The loss is equal to SP of 10 apples. So my loss is equal to rupees 10x. We know when there is loss, CP is greater than SP. Also we know that loss is equal to CP minus SP, which implies that the loss which we have got from here, which is 10x, will be equal to CP minus 250x, because my SP has come as 250 into x. So from there we get loss is equal to CP minus 250x. We just flip the side. When I say flip the side, you are simultaneously shifting the left hand side to right hand side, or right hand side to left hand side. So on the right hand side, in the previous step we had CP minus 250x, we pushed it to left hand side, and LHS was 10x, we took it to RHS. So the equation remains same, only the sides have changed. CP minus 250x is equal to 10x. So from here we get that, okay, the CP should be equal to 10x plus 250x, which is equal to 260x. They are like variables. Your knowledge of algebra will help out here. Now what happens? We know that loss is 10x. We have got it in the previous slide. Loss is 10x, CP is 260x. Can we not find the loss percentage? We know the loss percentage is loss upon CP into 100. So it is fairly simple. 10x upon 260x into 100. We know these x and x cancels out, and rest of the simplification, while removing the 0 and dividing 26 and 100, you will eventually land up with 50 upon 13%, which is in the mixed fraction 311 by 13%. Now the second part of the question asks us, had he purchased them for rupees 650, what would have been the selling price of one apple? So what is given to us is CP of 250 apples is rupees 650. We can find out CP of one apple, which will be 650 upon 250, which comes as rupees 2.6 when you rationalize and solve the common factors. Now you also know that loss percent we have found out in the first section is equal to 50 upon 13%, 50 upon 13%. I'm purposefully not writing it in the mixed fraction because we eventually want to find the selling price. Now we know that loss per apple we can find out now. It is 50 upon 13% of selling price of one apple. And what is that? That is 13.5 rupees 13 upon 5. We are putting it into the fraction format only. We know because there is a 13 here in the percentage in the denominator and 13 up in the numerator, so we know it will get cancelled out. So we want to utilize that opportunity. Loss per apple is loss percent. Loss percent is 50 upon 13%, and that is 50 upon 13% of what? It is of the CP. Loss is always on CP, profit is also always on CP. So in this case there is a loss. So this becomes 50 upon 13 into 1 upon 100. We have clubbed it, it becomes 50 upon 1300. And you need to know that whenever there is a percentage sign, it means in the denominator there has to be 100. So we have multiplied 13 by 100 if when we are removing the percent sign. So this eventually comes out to be rupees 1 upon 10, which is rupees 0.10 loss per apple. In this case, you are aware that the CP is rupees 2.6. So SP is going to be CP minus loss, because your CP is greater than SP whenever there is a loss. So SP is equal to CP minus loss. So CP is rupees 2.6 minus loss is rupees 0.10. The final answer is rupees 2.50. So therefore, selling price of one apple would be rupees 2.50. Thank you very much for watching this lesson. You can write to us on 982115997 on WhatsApp, or else mail us at 5mathsgym2020 at gmail.com.